You can take a guy like Canelo. This guy can do. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
You can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or...
He's the best fighter alive. Pound for pound, he's that guy. In this four-belt era, he's now a three-time undisputed world champion. 140 pounds, 147, and now 168 pounds. Bud proved he's the man. I have to admit it. Bud's the best, no debate. Nobody should question him anymore. You have to give him respect. He jumped up 2 weight classes people said he couldn't handle, and he did it. I've been a world champ myself, won belts in 3 divisions.
So this week actually said something interesting. He goes that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like he is?
I think he's more all-rounded in some ways, but Mayweather was so good at certain things that made him impossible to beat. He really stuck to his niche of style, where Crawford kind of tries to fight the more honest, I guess, exciting, traditional way, being there, just moving out the way, landing the shot, where Mayweather would have you dancing around him and chasing him and falling short and falling in and countering the life out of you, and knew and understood 10-9 rounds better than anyone else. You only have to win 7, 10-9 rounds clear, and you've won the fight as long as you don't get put down. And obviously he never really got put down. I know there's a few question marks, but for all intents and purposes never got put down, and he was the best, one of the best to ever do it. It's very hard to go a whole career undefeated.
He's the best fighter alive. Pound for pound, he's that man. In the four-belt era, he's become undisputed 3 times, 140, 147, and now 168. Collecting every belt. Rarely do fighters climb up against someone viewed as bigger and stronger. Crawford showed power. He made his opponent respect it. He used his jab, his reach, his timing. Strong enough to stop him, smart enough to outbox him.
What did you think of the fight?
Man, I loved it, man. I love the fight, man. I love the fight. I did not know how it was going to go. I didn't think the weight was going to be a problem for Terence Crawford. I'm on record saying I didn't think it was going to be a problem. But it stood to be seen. It needed to be seen. And I knew we would have known after the first, second, and third round. You know what I'm saying? And when I seen how Canelo was respecting his jab, and how Canelo was respecting his power from the very beginning, I knew how it was going to go. And I knew that Bud was only going to get stronger and get bolder and, you know, start to wear him down. Canelo is known to start to wear a little bit in the later round.
Everyone said that Crawford was not going to exchange tonight, and he traded with Canelo up close.
Man, Bud is the best, man. Bud is the best. I've been on wax saying that, Bud. I've been on wax saying that for a couple of years now. I bet against Bud on Spence. I bet against Bud on Porter. I didn't think that Bud was the best. I got to give it to him. Bud the best, right? He's hands down. He's the best. He's the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him his respect no matter what. You got to give him his respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do, and he is doing it with ease.
Break,
You got to respect him.
break it down for me. How did he win that fight in the way he won it tonight?
He won the fight by taking Canelo's respect. I think he was already in Canelo's head a little bit. I think that even though Canelo knew he was stronger and everything else, these fighters are still human and they hear what people are saying. Canelo was, I'm sorry, not Canelo. Crawford was undefeated. Look at what he did to Spence. I mean, look at what he's doing to some of these people. So no matter what, I mean, you have to take that into consideration.
Either way, he was in talks with Chavez. What does this mean for his legacy? That Floyd loss didn't hurt him. He was young, facing a master, one of the all-time greats. But now he fought a smaller man, still elite, but smaller. Does it stain his legacy? I think yes. He ruled his weight division for years, became the face of boxing, built a huge following. Losing to someone moving up makes you look less dominant than you were.
Check this out, guys. Floyd Money Mayweather just shared on social media that he bet $50,000 in Crawford to win, and he won $75,000 back. So Crawford made Mayweather $74,000. Most people that I talked to were betting on Canelo. A few people bet on Crawford. How much money did you win on Crawford? $200 here, $200 there. But most people that I know bet on Canelo. And we'll hear from Canelo. We're gonna hear from Crawford. And I'll keep you guys posted. But right now, Floyd Money Mayweather bet on Crawford and made some money. What do you want to see Crawford do next? What do you want to see Canelo do next? Let me know. Definitely interesting developments here tonight. When I watched the fight live, I thought Canelo won. I think Canelo won. I have to watch it again, but with no audio because I know the broadcasters were all against Canelo. They were all against him all week from the rivals. I don't expect anything different.
This was Terence "Bud" Crawford moving up 2 weight divisions. Really 3, because he only fought once at junior middleweight. So, from 147 straight to 168. Crawford chasing the undisputed super middleweight crown from Canelo Alvarez. I was there. Few things in sports compare to a mega fight in Vegas. Very few. It's different. Credit to Nick Khan of WWE too.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number.
Terence Crawford and his trainer, 2-time Trainer of the Year and future Hall of Famer Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, recently spoke. Bomac said flat out, "This fight isn't happening." The fight everyone wanted was Canelo versus David Benavidez, but Canelo never took it. Benavidez.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boss. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. I always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll be this. Never. That's some hate type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
It's too late now. He's done everything. Nothing else left to prove. People doubted him. I saw folks on channels talking nonsense. But if you want the truth, you come here. You get the breakdown from a real fighter, a Hall of Famer. I've told y'all for years about Crawford. They trashed his resume, but I kept saying he was the real deal.
Some Fight Hub TV right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Champ, first off, I want to thank you for the illustrious career that you have given us in the game. You've been a steadfast professional in the way that you conducted yourself, and I want to thank you on behalf of all of the boxing media.
Thank you, sir.
Number
my
2,
pleasure.
Champ, I wanted to ask you, this was a fight that we haven't seen from you before. We've never seen you have the sustained and prolonged frustration during the fight. Was there a point in time where you figured that this just wasn't going to be my night, and if you did, when did that happen?
No, I never thought that. I always try. All the rounds I try, but you need to accept it, right? Sometimes you cannot go, and I try all the rounds. I never think about that because, imagine, so I cannot think in that way, but I try my best tonight.
And lastly for me, Champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Canelo Alvarez, a generational great, took on a man 3 divisions lighter. Does this place him in the GOAT talks? Yes. because he didn't get enough credit at his own weight, so he went up for a huge challenge. Both are still prime. Crawford at 36, Canelo at 37, still sharp. Age hasn't worn them the same. Crawford hasn't had too many wars. Canelo's had years of tough fights, but it evens out. Both still elite, both still peaking. Perfect timing for this fight.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So.
Yeah. What was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23? 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
are you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose?
20s.
I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Don't
make himself look like he did something great.
Do you realize what he did last night? 3-time undisputed, beating the best. I saw warning signs with Canelo. His body language said too comfortable, stretch limo, Armani suit, family in tow. He acted like he owned Vegas. Meanwhile, Crawford came humble, focused, straight to business. He'd been asking for this fight for years. In the ring, it was for purists, feints, footwork, jabs, angles. Little combinations, closing rounds smartly. He showed how to outthink and outbox a bigger man.
The Floyd Mayweather that Canelo Alvarez fought.
Yeah.
In the last version of Terence Crawford that we've seen in the ring.
Yeah.
Who's the better fighter?
Of course you got to give it to Floyd. Floyd at that time. Ben, what's up? Floyd at that time versus Canelo was in total confidence. His skill set, his IQ, you know what I'm saying? Everything he do, he was just a complete fighter that night. But I feel like was up against a lot because he was fighting a guy that we knew something about, but we ain't know too much about. People don't understand how much a fighter could be thrown off by what he don't know. And the reason it throws you off is because you're actually learning about the fighter while you're in there. That's what Bud went up against that night. That's why he didn't look.
Canelo's done enough. But the hunger's gone. Flat-footed, slower, single shots. That's why I predicted Crawford by decision. Crawford's still hungry, chasing history. He became 3-time undisputed by moving up 2 classes to beat Canelo. Accomplishments-wise, he's surpassed Mayweather. Floyd was never undisputed. But prime for prime, Floyd or Pacquiao.
Canelo saying that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. But I think Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. The thing is with Crawford, and I was kind of goading him on this, and it's not his fault. His resume's not that impressive. Like I said to him, tell me your best win ever. This is what I said to him. And you know what he said? Ricky Burns. Right? Now Ricky Burns is a great fighter. He's my guy. He's a 3-division world champion, but you can't say that he is, like one of the greats. He's one of the greats of Scottish boxing. But if you're talking about one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, it's not Terence's fault that he hasn't been able to get those fights. But a lot of the guys that he's fought have been done. Even arguably Ricky Burns at the time. I know he went on to win other world championships, but he was kind of on the slide at that time. Kell Brook, Amir Khan. Gamboa, all of these guys. Who else did he beat? Ndongo, like Errol Spence, another example. Terence is brilliant, but he's never actually really had many notable victories. This would be it. I mean, this would be an incredible achievement. But I just feel like at the age that they're at, like, what is going to happen in this fight? And I just see Yeah, I don't think Terence, because he shouldn't, is going to take that many chances in the fight. He needs to use his movement, use his footwork, which Canelo doesn't like, and win rounds. And Canelo doesn't really like to force a fight. When did you last see Canelo really trying to get a finish?
When Bud beat Porter, I wasn't convinced. Now, he's the best. No questions. Jumped 2 classes, did what they said he couldn't. Earned respect. How did he win tonight? By making Canelo respect him. Even though smaller, Canelo knew Crawford was dangerous. Look what he did to Spence. Fighters hear the talk. Crawford was undefeated. Canelo respected that. That's what swung it. Canelo even said Crawford's better than Mayweather. Having fought both, I'd say Bud punt.
Where do you sit with this? Because 2 pound-for-pound greats of this era. Canelo, we see the resume. Crawford, 2-time undisputed. Potentially this weekend becomes 3. I've said in a few interviews, is it skills pay the bills, or does a good big man beat a good little man? How do you see it?
I feel like the skills pay the bills, and I feel like Crawford's not that much littler than Canelo. We see in the face-off that they're around the same size. If not, Crawford look a little bigger than. Yeah, for sure. So really just we're gonna see tomorrow. How it plays out. Whoever the better man is that night, I feel like will win. I feel like it's even playing fields, and both guys coming ready. So we're just gonna have to see.
If Terence does win this, a lot of people are saying that puts him as the greatest of all time. Now, I know it's hard because obviously you've been with Floyd, and a lot of people are saying Floyd is greatest. But does that at least put him in that conversation with your Floyd Mayweathers, your Manny Pacquiao's, your Sugar Ray Leonards, all the greats of the past, and obviously Canelo obviously as well because he'll be there. Does that put him there?
Yeah, for sure. Of course nobody will, but I feel like Floyd will always be the greatest of all time.
Crawford beat Canelo tonight. Outstanding. He's always been great, but this fight was tougher, riskier. At nearly 38, he showed he's the GOAT of his generation. Credit to Canelo for accepting. Credit to Turkey Alolshik for arranging it. No size issue, Crawford looked strong.
And you know what? We're going to get back in the gym. We're going to get back in the gym, and we're going to assess that. And, right now I just want him to go on vacation, have some fun, spend time with his family, man, because we trained for probably a half a year for that fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time spent away from home, a lot of time spent away from the family. So I just want him to just go get back home.
And what for you?
Yeah.
Damn. And for you? Hey, this is thing.
Appreciate you.
What you saying about training a half a year?
We trained almost a half a year for that fight. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it was so sharp. Everybody.
That's it for today's breakdown. Stay locked in, more coming soon.
This is the second time he destroyed every myth. Can he take a punch? Is he strong? Is this guy too strong? Man, he did everything. He did everything. Didn't he? Stood and fought with him. See how he
was in the pocket. Was in the pocket.
Turned him. Did everything. Talking about he too strong. Turned him a couple times. Pushed him. Crawford the best, man.
You fought Floyd at 23, that's so young. He was in his prime, and you were still just starting yours. What was that like? I trained so hard. I wanted to beat him because beating Floyd at 23 would have made me the best in the world. But that night he was the better man. His experience showed. He's a great fighter. I learned a lot.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what, 23?
23.
That's so fucking young. And he was like, that was 1 year.
No, he was
prime,
in his
right?
prime.
Prime. You were like, what was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I tried to beat him because beat him. If you beat him, you want to be the best in the world. 23, so imagine that. But he was the better man that night. A lot of experience. He's a great fighter.
Do you think Floyd Mayweather calling out Terence Crawford could create one of the biggest fights in history? Or should Money stay retired and let Crawford carry the torch? Drop your thoughts in the comments.